And I want to touch on the subject of Samadhi. This term was brought up and it comes from, typically pratyahara, or a withdrawal of the senses. And you come back to your bindu, your singularity, your Big Bang point, where you remember you are divine. You are that 0D infinite point from which all arises. And the way Manasi described it was so beautiful. It never really hit until she used the language of not having a timing for anything. Just sit with it, no expectation, because if you're being alert and keeping track of time, you're not present here and dissolving into the eternal now. Your mind is active. You need to just be. And in one of my classes with Will, he was kind of getting me to practice this palta and adding 10 beats per minute every few rounds. And I had no idea when that was going to end. That was just going on and on and on. But I just didn't care. I mean, obviously, in order to keep track of like the pulling of the string, my mind started working. But I was starting to lose that sense of linear space-time. I was also not really caring of how things sounded. It almost feels like, so the raga I'm learning is called Bhairavi, and it feels like she is conscious even as a raga, not just as the consort of Bhairav Baba, that timelessness. And then I want to play this almost like a sapatan that Will was teaching me. And I want you to pay attention to kind of the angelic sounds, the reverberation you hear over here, okay? Immediately, I'm just thinking of angels singing. I'm hearing and seeing the sacred geometry, the cathedral, and I've spoken in my flower video about this, of how the divine often seduces us through our senses, but especially through symmetry, geometry, and there's like a sacred geometry almost of sound that I hear. And when I think of cathedrals, obviously that is linked to Jesus, and I feel like Jesus is the perfect embodiment of non-dual Shiva Tantra and absolutely embodies devotion, that step above and transcending above the debate between discipline versus motivation. When you engage in pratyahara and dissolve the senses, I'm not going to claim that I really hit that hardcore official samadhi, but I was definitely with dhyan, like focus and withdrawal. I was hitting that level of devotion. And so I'm going to play a little bit and maybe we can practice some samadhi together, right? Because I don't know how long I'm going to go on for. It's random for me, so maybe it's random for you, but maybe if you just kind of close your eyes and if you sit in a meditation, let yourself just take a deep breath in and let it come out, and just do that like 2 or 3 more times. Oftentimes we feel like if something is constantly repeating again and again, that it's something that's boring. And through the practice of playing sitar and that too, I could hear all the mistakes I was making in here. But we learn about these micro movements in our muscles, our tissue, our cells. We deepen through repetition, through moving meditation, right? We dissolve our ego, our need to have not only like perfection, because love is meant to be expressed in continuity, not just discretized forms, okay? Not just localized points of space-time. Because if we can't love ourselves now, how will we have the gumption to get to the next place of our evolution? And with that infinite compassion, that divine love that's in the heart, of course it makes sense that I'm thinking of cathedrals and like the God deity associated with that. It's all about love and compassion and forgiveness of the self that can be practiced while you're playing sitar. And once you go within, you start recognizing just how powerful you are. You see the kingdom within you, and whatever you can hear within anahata, not only anahata as the unstruck sound, as the sound waves pulsate through the medium of the ether, but also anahata, the heart chakra. When you're able to do this, you activate the divine from within, and that is when you begin independent reality creation, having more of a control of your chunk of space-time reality.